Okay, so this video is to give you a little bit of information about taking quizzes and tests. So when I'm ready to take the quiz, I'm just going to click on the heading and I'm going to read the instructions. So it says this is a timed test, and Blackboard calls everything a test. Whether it's a quiz or a test, it just says test. So this is a quiz, it's a 10-point quiz, but it's always going to say test here. So this is a time test. I'm going to read it has a time limit of 10 minutes. Now, different quizzes and exams may have different time limits based on the type of questions that you're going to get. You will have some questions throughout the semester where you'll have to work out things on a piece of paper, and for those type of quizzes and tests, you will get more time. Okay. The timer setting says you're notified when the time expires. You may continue or submit. So what this means is this is a 10-minute quiz. But if you get to that 10 minutes and you're on the last question and you're trying to think it through, the quiz will not automatically submit for you at 10 minutes. You may go over slightly. I'm okay with that. If it's 10 seconds, 30 seconds, that's okay. I'm going to assume you were working on the last question and you just needed a few extra seconds. It's not okay to take 30 minutes for a 10-minute quiz. So Blackboard does notify me if you've gone over. It does let me know how long it took you to take the quiz. So if it does take you 30 minutes on a 10-minute quiz, you won't get the grade for that quiz. Okay. The next thing says forced completion. It says this test can be saved and resumed later within the time limit. Timer does not stop when test is saved. So what this means is that if something happens on your computer, like your Internet Explorer suddenly crashes, you can then quickly open an Internet Explorer again, get back into the quiz, and resume, but the timer does not stop. So if that happens, you need to quickly open it back up again and resume on your test. If I didn't have it set that way, if something crashed on your computer or maybe you ran out of battery on your laptop, you then would lose that quiz altogether and you would lose that attempt. Okay, so the next thing says this test has multiple attempts. Now, this is only for quizzes, okay? So all quizzes allow you to have 2 attempts, and they take the highest grade of those 2 attempts. So the idea here is that if you get a low grade on one of your quizzes, then that's an indication to you that you didn't understand the material. You need to go back, study again. Maybe you need to check with me and see what you're not understanding, check in with your classmates, something like that. Okay, so, but Blackboard is set to take your highest grade. Okay, so when I'm ready to go, I'm going to click here, continue, and then my 10 minutes is going to start. So if you're sitting here reading the instructions, your timer has not started yet. Okay, so I'm going to click continue. And just read through here at the top. It says this test has a time limit of 10 minutes. You're notified when the timer expires. You may submit or continue. Warnings are going to appear throughout the quiz: 5 minutes, 1 minute, 1 minute, 30 seconds, etc. As we already said, the test allows 2 attempts. This is my attempt number 1. And we said the test can be saved and resumed later within the time limit. Okay, so I've got my first question here. It says DNA is composed of subunits called. And so I'm going to click what I think the answer is. I'm going to click Save Answer. It says your answer has been saved. Expand the question completion status to see the completion status of all questions. So if I want to do that, I can just click here and it lets me know what questions I have answered. All right, so I'm going to go to the end here. Now you will have gone through and completed all of the questions. I just went to the end so I could show you, and you're going to hit Save and Submit. Okay, I'm going to click OK. You guys will have completed all of them, but I'm going to click OK. Okay, now I've had this running for a while, so it actually says I used 11 minutes out of 10. So it'll let you know if you went over a little bit. The other thing to note about quizzes and tests is that they are randomized. And so what that means is that you will not get the same quiz as all the other students in the class. So for each of the quizzes, I would say there might be 30 questions in a test bank, and you'll get 10 of those on the quiz. The answers will also be randomized. So if you do get the same question, let's say on your second attempt, don't assume that they're in the same order. So questions are randomized, so you're going to get whatever 10 questions you get. You're not necessarily going to get the questions that you just saw on my quiz. And the answers are randomized, so they're not going to be in the same order. And when you get to the exams will pull questions from the quizzes. However, again, those are randomized, so you may get few of the same, you may get a lot that are different. The answers are randomized, so they're all going to be in a different order. All right, if you have any questions about taking quizzes or exams, please let me know.